Welcome back to the show, everybody. With the deadline for filing taxes fast approaching, this is a concern for many individuals contemplating filing bankruptcy. Whether your tax refund can be protected and thus exempted from being taken by the bankruptcy trustee and distributed to your unsecured creditors, it depends on specific facts of your case, primarily whether there is significant equity in your home, the market value of things, and how much your property is worth. It's so good to have on the show our great friend, Chattanooga bankruptcy attorney, Aaron Epstein. Good to have you here.
Always a pleasure.
Pretty good topic, I guess.
Yeah, when you sent me that idea, I was going, why didn't I think of that? This is the perfect time to be telling people that it matters when you get a tax refund. A lot of people, as you know, get what they consider a bonus every year, $5,000 or $6,000 or $8,000. And if you're not careful and you file a bankruptcy without consulting somebody, you can be lighting a match to that refund.
All right, so what happens? I mean, so legally you are not protected from the government taking that money away.
Well, it depends. For example, in Tennessee, you can actually exempt $10,000 worth of personal property. So if you had a joint refund for a husband and wife, that's part of your $20,000 in personal property exemptions. For most people, it's probably a non-issue. But you've got to be careful if you have more assets than that. And for example, what you want to do is make a decision on whether to wait and file, so that's a timing issue, or whether you want to spend that refund on things that are exempt. Mortgage payments, rent, furniture, things, living expenses.
We mentioned the word trustee. Can you please explain what a trustee is?
Okay, good question. A Chapter 7 trustee is he's appointed by the government, he or she, and their job is to find assets that are not exempt so that they can get some money to pay the creditors, the unsecureds, that you're not going to be paying. So if you had a house that was worth $100,000 and you only owed $50,000 on it, of course you wouldn't file bankruptcy if you had a knowledgeable bankruptcy lawyer, but if you did, they could take the house in a lot of situations, sell it, give you your homestead exemption, which varies in Tennessee from $7,500 to $25,000, and use that money to pay your creditors. So you have to be real careful when you file bankruptcy to make sure your assets are protected.
So the trustee will set up your payment plan, is that correct?
No, the Chapter 7 trustee, his job is just to find assets that can be sold to satisfy some of the creditors.
And then who makes the plan for payback?
The Chapter 13 is a different program. That's a repayment. That's where you pay for 3 to 5 years your creditors to repay them all or part of the debt you owe them.
In your practice, is that the more popular option among your clients?
I would say it's now probably 60-40 people repaying.
Which is a good sign.
It is a good sign. I'd say in the recession it probably got down to 40%, the other way around. There was a lot more people filing 7s, but now that there are people with an income and they feel like they can make payments, it does make sense in a lot of cases.
Still with filing bankruptcy, is there still a 10-year window or is it less time for your credit?
Well, your credit's a different issue. I actually have a program that my clients go through that can get your credit score back to 720 within 12 to 24 months of a discharge. And I also give that to my Chapter 13 clients. Wow. So you can do a lot more to protect your credit or help restore your credit than you would expect. And anybody who wants to know about that, please call me. It took me about 32 years to figure out how important your credit score is. There's discrimination they can actually legally charge you double for car insurance if you have a low credit score.
You know, that's what you hear when people go to you or have used you in the past, is that knowledge, but that caring knowledge as well. And you've been doing it for 30 plus years, Aaron, and you seem to personally get involved with each person and their family. You take this to heart.
Jed, I love what I'm doing. So
you really do.
It's not work. It's just helping people get out of a situation that they most likely didn't create.
You know, you mentioned that you hope that the bankruptcy attorney that you pick will make the right decision for you. You said that earlier. How do you know if you're getting ripped off, Aaron?
Well, you don't always, and it's kind of, you just kind of have to trust your sense, your own senses. You don't know for sure. You want to ask friends. If I had one thing that I would recommend, ask 3 friends. And it might be embarrassing because you might not want them to know, but most likely if you ask them if they've had any experience or know somebody who has, it's all reputation. It's all who you trust. And if you trust someone who's come to see me or someone else, then I would trust their judgment.
I know Julie was just sitting back there talking to you before we did this interview, and you're just so interesting to talk to, Aaron. And you know, if you need someone, a bankruptcy attorney, I consider him one of the nicest guys around. And here's the information, how to reach him. Go ahead, you talk about it.
Aaron Epstein, 713 Cherry Street, 423-752-3000, or you can visit me on the web at moneyproblems.com.
Can they actually ask you questions on that website? Or?
Absolutely. Yeah, we've just redone the website. I actually...
Very interactive.
Yeah, I had the first lawyer website in 1997. It's a good story, but we've just done the 4th revision of it, and it's looking good.
All right, and it's looking great. We're back after this.